It's Friday, May 2. In the headlines, Sandy Gully, as well as almost 200 roads are slated to be repaired this year, says the government. Jamaica receives over $60 million in humanitarian aid from India. Regionally, in Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissessar sworn in as Prime Minister. And in sports, Caribbean athletes on a quest for glory in Diamond League. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Significant improvement work is slated for the Sandy Gully drainage network in St. Andrew. That commitment came from Minister without Portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Robert Morgan. Speaking at this week's post-cabinet press brief, he also informed those in attendance that 38 roads are currently under construction as part of the Shared Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement to Our Road Network program, with several already completed. The Sandy Gully system was built more than 50 years ago, and it included the construction of drains to control flooding in Kingston and St. Andrew during and following torrential rainfall. However, in 2024, it had been reported that the lower reaches of the gully is in danger of failing.
So we're going to do a total rehabilitation of the Sandy Gully. But before we spend that money, we have to make sure we do the studies to ensure that we're doing it properly. Those studies are started.
Minister Morgan also noted that paving is underway on Orange Grove and Doherty Drive in St. Andrew.
That was a $3 billion program split between constituencies and national road infrastructure. We also had Reach Emergency, which I know a lot of persons were thankful for.
Additionally, the minister revealed that almost 200 roads are being targeted for repair this year, with 168 already announced.
We're in the planning stages for the rehabilitation, and the rehabilitation will take next financial year. But while that is happening, we will be doing some remedial work to bring some respite and comfort to the commuters who traverse Spanish Town Road. We have Washington Boulevard, 6 miles to Malines Road. We have Dunrobin Avenue extension to East Kings House Road. We have the Red Hills Road, Dunrobin Avenue to Perkins Boulevard. We have Eastwood Park Road to Washington Boulevard. Old Hope Road is slated for major rehab. Brayton Parkway, Port Maria Bypass, Lucy Bypass, Hope Bay, Hopewell, and the Sandy Bay Bypass.
The minister also said the $3 billion Relief, Emergency Assistance and Community Help Program, REACH program, is 80% complete. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, has welcomed the donation of humanitarian and emergency medical supplies valued at over $60 million from the Republic of India. The donation comes at a crucial time as Jamaica prepares for the start of the Atlantic hurricane season in June. Minister Johnson-Smith emphasized that the supplies will play a vital role in strengthening the government's disaster response capabilities and healthcare services, particularly in light of the climate-related challenges and potential public health emergencies that lie ahead. She also highlighted the deep-rooted ties between Jamaica and India, noting that this support comes as Jamaica continues its recovery from the damages caused by Hurricane Beryl in July of the previous year. She is quoted saying, "The ties between Jamaica and India run deep, spanning over 60 years of formal diplomatic relations, and are further strengthened by shared history and people-to-people connections. We also share a commitment to disaster-resilient development, reflected in both India's leadership and Jamaica's membership in the Coalition for Disaster-Resilient Infrastructure, among other initiatives." End quote. The donated items have been delivered to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, for storage and distribution as needed. A leading infectious diseases expert is warning that the Caribbean could be vulnerable to the Oropouche virus, which is spreading rapidly in parts of South America. Dean of the University of South Florida College of Public Health, Professor Sten Vermond, says the region's tropical conditions provide a suitable environment for the virus to thrive.
Oropouche has been emerging in South America, Brazil, Panama, and elsewhere. It's a serious risk, I think, for the Caribbean because all of the same conditions that help it thrive in Brazil, Colombia, Panama exist in the Caribbean. So it's just a matter of travelers coming, perhaps incubating the virus, perhaps they haven't gotten sick yet, and the mosquitoes bite them and transmit it locally.
According to the World Health Organization, the Oropouche virus is transmitted to humans through the bites of infected midges and some mosquitoes. Since December 2023, more than 10,000 cases have been reported. The virus causes symptoms similar to dengue and chikungunya, making early detection more difficult. Professor Vermond says now is the time for the region to put precautionary measures in place before the virus gains a foothold.
It's a nasty virus. It can kill under certain circumstances. So we would like to keep it out of the country and keep its risk to a bare minimum. And in controlling dengue and chikungunya, the Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes that breed in small containers peri-domestically around the house and around the neighborhood. So trash collection is important. People emptying standing water in their neighborhoods and in their homes, cleaning out the eaves to make sure that it doesn't collect standing water. All of that is amenable to community mobilization and neighborhood participation.
November 20, 1944, years ago, Jamaica took a big step towards giving all adults the right to vote. Today, that right has grown even stronger as the voting age is lowered to 18. In this report, Marlon Samuels chats with Jamaica's Director of Elections, Glaspel Brown, about why voting matters and the importance of making sure every vote counts.
The right to vote is a fundamental pillar of democracy. It's essential that every eligible citizen exercises this responsibly to uphold the principles of fairness and representation. The responsibility that comes with the right to vote and actively participate in shaping our democracy is vital.
How does voting by citizens help to keep Jamaica's parliamentary democracy alive and well?
Well, every election involves the making of a decision, and certainly in terms of our process in Jamaica, the democratic process. And therefore, the citizen is asked to make what I think, what I regard as the most important decision that they can make, and that is to decide who governs the country for a period of time. And therefore, that involvement of the citizen in the process enhance the quality of the governance that we have in the country. And therefore, as I said earlier on, that it's important that they be a part of the process, certainly in terms of the maintenance of that democratic system that we have in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, voting is a secure and organized process that ensures each voice is heard. To ensure the integrity of the electoral process, comprehensive measures must be implemented.
Jamaica's system is now among the best in the world, ensuring the important goal that one person, one vote is achieved.
First, we have to ensure that the person is only registered once. And therefore, what we do is to do a comparison with what we have with our database. Certainly, we use biometric data as a guide to ensure that you're on the list only once. And therefore, at the point of registration, we do take your fingerprint. We were now embarking on to the facial, we take a photograph, etc. And what we do is compare your fingerprint with the entire database. Therefore, you cannot be in the database more than once. And therefore, we ensure that you're registered only once. and therefore you're only assigned to one polling station. And therefore that helps us in terms of ensuring that nobody can vote more than once.
The Electoral Office of Jamaica has all systems in place to ensure free and fair elections.
When everyone plays their part, we keep our voting process strong and Jamaica's democracy gets even stronger. Your vote truly makes a difference in shaping our future. Exercise your right to do so. For the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
Time now for the business report.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Honorable Favour Williams, speaking at the QMAX Wealth Management Spring Investment Forum at the Terra Nova Hotel this week, shared that the government has a multi-pronged approach to the various challenges facing the economy. The Minister of Finance drew a parallel between COVID-19 and the current trade war environment. She states, and we quote, "We are a small, open economy. We will be impacted by the price increases due to tariffs when they are enacted. The impact of the tariffs will depend on how competitive the industry is. Profits may not be as robust for certain businesses as in the past." End quote. Minister Williams also noted that there are also opportunities to integrate into the global market with intention rather than reaction. Sagicor Group Jamaica Limited has advised that effective May 1st, Willard Brown has been appointed Chief Executive Officer of Sagicor Life Jamaica Limited. Sagicor Jamaica has also advised that Joanna Banks will transition into an expanded strategic leadership role within the group as Executive Vice President, Strategy and Business Development and Chief Technology Officer. At the QMAX Wealth Management Spring Investment Forum at the Terra Nova last week, Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, reeled off the double-digit growth of numerous stocks.
Over 20 on the main market and over 12 on the junior market, performing more than 20% to record levels of 74% increase in your price. So what does this tell you?
Who grew by 74% last year?
Let us go.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Trans-Jamaica.
Oh, yes, that was a good one.
We had quite a few of them, Kalila, so I can share with you, with the audience afterwards. But quite a few of those companies we had. Let us just get the facts. It is important to get the facts.
She came prepared.
Oh, yes. Yes,
brought the receipts.
I really want to encourage people in terms of investing in the market. You know, sometimes people feel that, okay, the market does not seem as robust, but there are opportunities in the market. So we have Wicton advancing 75.95%. Wow. Lasco 74.83%.
Which one are the Lascos?
Lasco Manufacturing. Yeah. Trans-Jamaica Highway, 70.85%. Carreras Limited, 58.18%. Cab Cement, 46.57%. And do you want me to continue? What it means is that there are opportunities. And that is in the main market. And then we go on.
And I'm particularly impressed that that list is led by two former government companies, Trans-Jamaica and Wicton.
Exactly, yes. And Blue Power, 79.4%. Iron Rock, 54.37%. Everything Fresh, 38.16%. And these are prices and advances that you could not get normally in terms of fixed income securities. So that means that there are opportunities in the market, and what people need to do is to check with their broker and to say, what are the opportunities? And also to look for themselves, because the information is also on the Jamaica Stock Exchange's website. So significant, and you can diversify within the portfolio. You can look at moving from manufacturing, if that is the case, or to another. So obviously, the top advances are there, and if you see a declining, you can go to look at another stock. So that is the point about the opportunities in the market.
For the trading period ending May 1, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 10,510,880 units traded, representing 52.92% of market sales volume. Billboard advertising and real estate firm Kintyre Holdings Jamaica Limited with 1,544,399 units traded, representing 7.78% of market sales volume. Media conglomerate Radio Jamaica Limited with 1,193,541 units traded, representing 6.01% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On May 1, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $52.21 million purchased and US $53.90 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.80 per dollar, selling the US at $159.52 and buying the US at $157.72. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $2.54 per transaction, with selling at $114.70 and buying at $112.16. The British pound yielded Forex traders 76 cents in profits, with selling at $210.78 and buying at $210.67. For our credit report tip of the day, a strong credit score is one of the most underused tools in building a better life. It's not just about borrowing money, it's about positioning yourself to access better opportunities, reduce everyday costs, and fund the things that truly matter. Whether you want to grow a business, buy a property, or simply improve your monthly cash flow, your credit score can work for you if you know how to use it. We have some suggestions. You can use your credit to establish financial partnerships like joint ventures or co-investments with credibility. Additionally, you can plan major life events like weddings or dream vacations using responsible financing. When you are building something from nothing and you're going from financial recovery to financial resilience, many women over the age of 45 quietly wonder if they've missed their window to create wealth. But here's the truth. It's not too late and you're not too far behind. Financial resilience doesn't come from a perfect past. It comes from a powerful decision to start where you are and move forward with purpose. So today could be the day you stop surviving and start building. Here are some suggestions. First, say no to comparison and yes to competition with yourself. The journey is yours. Progress, not perfection. Then practice radical self-discovery and self-advocacy. Speak up for yourself, invest in yourself, and bet on yourself fiercely. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step forward for your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, everything is going to be all right. That's the message from Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, SC, as she officially took the oath of office on Thursday afternoon. More in this TTT News report.
During her first speech as Prime Minister for a second term, Kamla Persad-Bissessar assured that following the general election, supporters of all the various parties would be treated equally and fairly. She reiterated the campaign slogan of the United National Congress that everybody wins.
I made a promise that everybody will win, and I plan to fulfill that promise. On Saturday, we will swear in our full cabinet, and next week we will outline our plans for the coming months. 6 months from today, under a new UNC government, you will be in a safer and happier place in TNT. You will see what happens when a government cares.
She said the next 5 years would be rebuilding hope and dignity, noting that her plan is to rebuild the economy, diversify revenue streams and renew hope. But the Prime Minister had a stern message to her incoming MPs and ministers.
Treat the citizens with love. I will reflect that love onto you. However, when I say this to my incoming government members, however, if you treat citizens with callousness, contempt, and corrupt ways, I guarantee you, your retribution will be swift and brutal. Never, ever mistake my physical appearance or my kindness for weakness. I think you all know there is nothing more dangerous than a mother who believes her children are in danger. Everyone will be wise to remember that for the next 5 years.
In a historic first for Trinidad and Tobago, all 3 of the country's top leadership positions are held by women. The People's National Movement has named Penelope Beckles-Robinson as the new opposition leader, making her the first woman in the party's history to hold the post. Sunil Lala reports.
She is the chosen one. Penelope Beckles-Robinson was announced as the new opposition leader of this country, the first woman opposition leader of the People's National Movement. Her appointment to the post was announced by the People's National Movement's General Secretary, Foster Cummings, on Wednesday evening.
The General Council has agreed that the Member of Parliament who will fill the role of leader of the opposition will be the MP for the constituency of Arima, the Honourable Penelope Beckles-Robinson.
Mrs. Beckles-Robinson shared what would be her first focus in her new role.
Well, the first thing would be to meet with my members of parliament as well as the senators appointed, look at a post-mortem, basically of the elections. There are 2 younger members, Christian Birchwood as well as Kareem Marcel, but there's a very experienced team. With Minister Imbert, have been in the parliament for quite a long time. So there's an experienced team, and it's a question of ensuring that we give the best support and guidance to our 2 colleagues, our 2 new colleagues, and as well as the 6 senators.
As it relates to the parliament, she said the opposition intends to be a responsible one.
You would have seen during our term in office, there were several pieces of legislation that the then opposition objected to. Even long before you even had the debate, they indicated that they wouldn't support. We intend to be a responsible opposition, and responsible means that, where pieces of legislation brought before the parliament.
Before the General Council meeting, TTT News caught up with the party's former deputy political leader, Rohan Sinanan, who explained submitting his resignation on Wednesday.
I understand you're resigning.
Well, wasn't I supposed to? If the political leader has sent a resignation letter and the political leader appointed me, in following what is a principled stand, I am supposed to send in my resignation, right? So it's a principle stand, that's all.
And former Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Faris Al-Rawi also expressed his views on the matter.
Comments on the resignation so far today?
Expected. This is what happens. We had the anomaly of a prime minister resigning and not resigning as a political leader. And I had a lot to say about that. So this is par for the course. There'll be a lot of national reflection and engineering. It was a social and political experiment.
And Mr. Young's resignation today as well too.
Again expected.
Mrs. Beckles-Robinson also addressed supporters outside of Balize House following her announcement to the post.
Well, I just want to say to the people who are gathered here today that we have had times when the PNM has been in opposition. What is important is that we have always returned to government.
Trinidad and Tobago now has, for the first time in its history, a president, prime minister, and opposition leader who are all women. Sonolala, TTT News.
In sports, we lead off with athletics as several of the Caribbean's brightest track and field stars will be showcased at the Wanda Diamond League in Shanghai on Saturday. Athletes are continuing their preparations for the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan this September. Jack Matthews reports.
One of the region's stars on show will be Jamaica's Daniel Williams, the reigning world 100 meters hurdles champion. Williams will seek back-to-back Diamond League victories against a world-class lineup, which will include Nigeria's Toby Amusan and American Grace Stark. Sportsmax reports that her compatriot, triple jumper Jordan Scott, will look to build on his stunning season opener. Scott produced a personal best and winning leap of 17.27 meters. Another Jamaican, Kishane Thompson, the Olympic 100 meters silver medalist, will make his much-anticipated Diamond League debut for the season. Thompson will confront American Christian Coleman, Botswana's Letsila Tibogo, and Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala. A mouth-watering showdown is in prospect as well in the men's 110 hurdles, where Tokyo Olympic champion Hansel Parchment will battle fellow Jamaican Rashid Broadbell. Grenadian star Kirani James will also appear, striding in the men's 400 meters. As for the women, Jamaica's Natoya Gould Toppin will return for a second straight Diamond League race when she lines up in the 800. Also, Toppin's compatriot Danielle Thomas Dodd will make her first Diamond League appearance of the year in the women's shot put. Jack Matthew, ABS Sports.
We switch to cricket as the Trinidad and Tobago Legions are riding high in the West Indies Breakout League, securing their third win with a 6-wicket takedown of the Jamaica Titans at the Brian Lara Stadium this week.
TNT's Navin Bidesi was named player of the match, taking 2 wickets and notching 29 match-winning runs. Captain Joshua De Silva shared his thoughts following the match.
It's really good to get another victory. First, we still have some stuff to work on. Obviously, we're not peaking too early, which is good, but we're still winning games and getting points on the board, which is important.
You mentioned at the toss that you wanted to chase. Tell us a little bit about the importance of a chase and understanding the nuances of having that scoreboard pressure.
Yeah, well, we wanted to bowl first, obviously, to chase and hoping we can get them under that pass score, which is 160. Seems to be a good total at this ground. But we just wanted to test ourselves, test our bowling first, and it's a bit easier when there's no dew involved. So, yeah, hopefully it's just a thing of things to come, and we can move on and into the next game.
And that's the news on PBCJ. Have a great weekend.